Campo Center was this sort of lovely little building that was really not a theater. But they had sort of, the Signature had found that first floor, and they could put a 99-seat space in there, and they did it. So we did in my season a couple of shows that I had opened very recently. The first one was a 15 character play, a sequel to Hamlet, a comic sequel to Hamlet, because Hamlet was obviously screaming for a comic sequel. And of course my strongest memory of that evening was that I did something, I pioneered something that Horton Foote later also did with the Signature. I was the first playwright who actually acted in his own work on stage in a Signature production. Because on the second night, one of my actors went down with a back spasm, and I was the only male who had ever seen a rehearsal of the play. There were no understudies, there was no budget for that. So I went on with book, the little, dramatist play service version, acting edition, and had to run over the, obviously I had to run over all the blocking in just a matter of an hour with everybody that evening. And the director told everybody in the cast that this is something that should never happen to any cast, but it should happen to every playwright. And that was the comment, and it was sort of fun. I had acted before, thank God, when I was younger, and I was coming on in a role that was small in Shakespeare but big in my play, and most of my scenes were with Horatio, and luckily Tim Wheeler, a wonderful, strong, large actor, tall actor, was in these scenes, and he would grab me and throw me to where I needed to be next, because we were in these scenes of high conflict. Other than that, I would never have known my blocking. Just, okay, you're going to end up down there. And this was the second night. The Times and The Voice came, I think, that night. I had a friend in the audience whose laugh I recognized, and so I was always about to break up because I kept hearing this laugh. But we ended up getting fine reviews, and I actually myself had a good mention in the Times for my New York debut. That was a very scary night, but it was sort of fun in its odd way. And then many years later, Horton went on, I guess, for Annie Petoniak in one of his shows. So we had that special bond, Horton and I.